Okay, howdy and aloha, everybody. This is James with Monotalk. You need to understand what's going on right now. It's fucking nuts. So the question is, title of the show. So where does all this tyranny, oppression, subjugation, fascism? I mean, where does it all stem from, and how does it keep poking its head out every once in a while? More so than usual these days. And if you don't know the answer, then maybe you need to know the answer. That's why I'm having the show. There's the answer. It's money. Okay? I mean, bottom line. It's money in the politics. Money in the politics. And there's a kid or a guy or somebody, person out in, he's out
You
there
know that old.
in Hawaii or somewhere. I don't know where he's at, but he just came on recently. He's doing some great work, in my professional opinion. I thought I'd play it for you real quick. Let me see if I can get it up and running. He doesn't have a name. He uses the disguiso type of voice. He's using the I don't know. It's just like the hidden, the disguised voice of you'll know what I'm saying when you hear it. But it's pretty persuasive, and it's compelling. And I've done some work in checking it out, and it pans out. Um, right now, right now, there's so much information, but you have to look for it. I'm not talking about on your cable television. I'm not talking about through CNN, MSNBC, Fox, Breitbart, the New York Times, the LA Times, Huffington Post, the Examiner, Today, Newsweek, that used to be a good publication. Um, you've got to search a little harder. Go through YouTube, go through social media, Facebook, Twitter, and see what people are saying. See if, I mean, just if something seems like it kind of makes sense, check it out. Do your own due diligence. Ice Cube was on Jimmy Dore the other day. Chiggity chiggity, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Like I always say, do your own homework, do your own due diligence. Make sure you're getting uh, the facts or the truth from the horse's mouth directly. Like I've said, I've gotten emails from astronauts and spoken to legislators and judiciaries and executives. I've had people on my show um, talking to this person and that person. And yes, there are some professionals out there, but you have to see what they're tied to. Just because they're from the CDC or connected to the NIH or connected to Fauci in some way or connected to Bill Gates, um, doesn't mean that they're being completely forthcoming or completely accurate or truthful or factual. There's a ton of money out there that's being thrown around by the corporate elite 1%, the CE1s, I call them. Right? I'm not going to code it, whatever, it doesn't matter. So the CE1s, the corporate elite 1%ers, pretty much have a stranglehold on our politicians' huevos, gonads, balls, or whatever body part they need to grab onto. And it's very apparent in so many cases. I mean, if you look at Trump and you look at Biden and you look at Kamala Harris and you look at, Pence, and you look at so many people out there. Let me give you a good example. David Ig of Hawaii, and his crony Caldwell. They're in a they're actually providing, from what I believe, they're providing us with a great case that's pretty much the norm or copied this particular criminalistic business model that's happening everywhere, all over the country. It's not just Hawaii that's actually colluding and being corrupt and putting money before their people or their citizens or even their caucus. There's a giant money grab, corporate takeover, and mass manipulation that's happening right now. If you don't think that's the case, then I'm sorry. I'm trying. All right. I'm basically doing whatever I can to inform as many people as I can. Is that it is a pandemic. I've came to the realization of that. A lot of the numbers are totally inaccurate. The PCR test or nasal swab test has been proven over and over again that it's baloney. That's not even the correct test to be used, which you can find out. I have information. I'm not going to go into super fucking long detail about what's going on with this thing. I'll leave the links and the YouTube channels and everything clearly inside of my comments for you. You can go through it. Those people will provide those documents as well, and then you can go through their links that they have provided. It's work. You've got to check this stuff out. As soon as I watch a YouTube or I see something like I'm saying on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, TikTok or whatever, I'm researching it. I'm investigating that information to find out where it came from, if it's accurate, if this was really displayed, etc., 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 to make sure that I'm providing information that's actually helping. This is what my show is about: the planet and all of its inhabitants, and that's including you, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican or a Green Party or a Libertarian or a non-party voter like I am, which I've started, the nonpartyvoters.org, mass group, herd, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's basically just to let you know that you don't really need to be bound by a party. So let me just get to this video real quick. Let me see if oh, there it is. And I'll play it for you.
Saying you're digging yourself.
Start from the beginning. There we go.
You know that old saying, you're digging yourself a deeper hole? Well, over the past 2 days, the Free Hawaii movement has pushed Honolulu Mayor Kurt Caldwell over the edge, and he's starting to melt down and act a little bit unhinged toward the general public. Hi Kirk. Since you watched our last video, I'm sure you're tuned in for this one. Your tweet storm about how the H3 testing won't be mandatory is awesome, and how nobody will be forced to quarantine against their will was amazing. I guess the lockdowns are over. It's good to hear directly from you that you would never force anyone to do anything they don't want to do. Like, for instance, stay in their home for months against their will. Live in fear of walking around outside without being harassed by the police. Being able to go get some fresh air on a hiking trail. You would never do that, right? Thank you for the clarification. Also, I bet you've never done that before, have you? We're so happy to have such an organized and thoughtful leader here in Honolulu. Yesterday, on August 28th, Kurt Caldwell spent his whole morning on the phone, personally yelling at furniture stores that wouldn't abide by the shutdown order. Who do these businesses think they are? Costco? Walmart? 7-Eleven? How dare they ignore your authority, sir? Your threat to send over the police to harass them at their place of business makes so much sense. As for the H3 testing, we understand that you would never force anyone to do anything. So closing down a massive stretch of main highway to funnel people into your trap sounds like a really welcoming and thoughtful way to do this mass testing. One lane will be used for people to line up to get tested, and the other will be used for emergency vehicles. There's only 2 lanes. That doesn't sound forced at all. After all, you would never do that to anyone, huh? The pattern of non-compliance is already affecting his ego, and this isn't the last time we'll see an outburst from Kirk Caldwell over the civil disobedience that is about to take place on a massive scale. The local authorities want surge testing so that they can raise the total case number and continue to shut Hawaii down for additional months. Be assured, they will not lift these restrictions on September 9th like they say. They need to increase their case count so they can qualify for all of those piles of cash that they never pass out to the people. Where does that money go? You guessed it, straight into their pockets. Do not shut down your businesses. Go to work, go to school, go to the beach, go on a hike.
Now, that's very compelling information, in my professional opinion. He's got a few more. There's another one called Fraud in Paradise. Let me see. Kind of see it right there. Okay. Anyway. So, this is happening everywhere. This isn't just happening in Hawaii. This has been the norm for months. In order to get the money, you have to comply. Getting the money. Should we take money out of politics? Yes. That should be, and I've said this since I started my blog talk radio show back in 2014 in January, and then jumped in like 2015 or 16 to YouTube. Yeah, that's the number one thing that everybody should be fucking. There shouldn't be any other thing that you should be talking about. We should be a broken fucking record. We should be a broken fucking record constantly. Black Lives Matter. Definitely should be talking about that. I'm surprised they're not. That's not the number one thing on their list. As I've stated clearly over and over and over again, these lobbyists with the military-industrial complex and the people that sell this gear, they'll be back. They'll find their way back to give your police officers their military-industrial gear. Their sniper rifles, their fucking automatic machine guns. They're just everything at their disposal. Those lobbyists, they'll kick back for a little bit, but they'll come back, and they'll come back with a force. So you want to stop them from doing a chokehold? You want to stop the popo from fucking, walking around with a whistle? There's a lot of things that need to be done. Most of them come from the Marines, and they're trained killers. They're fucking trained killers. Protect and serve the public. That's their job. Now, I want them to be able to protect, but I don't want them to be able to kill, maim, and destroy. And as you've seen, they do that a lot. And they get off doing it a lot, too. Now, I'm not putting down the cops. I'm just saying there is definitely a different process to hiring cops. I want somebody that has critical thinking skills, is not a fucking trigger-happy, post-traumatic war syndrome, somebody that's got problems, mental issues, or whatever the case may be, or abusive, whatever. Which all that stuff is private for some reason. I want somebody walking around, doing their job, and there's some great cops out there, I'm telling you. Right? I know a few. And they're very helpful, and they're very supportive. And they can be and do things for the public, which they choose to do. They understand, protect, and serve. But there are some bad apples, for sure. Now, Black Lives Matter. If you want to demilitarize them, which I think is a good idea, because I don't think they need to have a fucking tank. We got the National Guard for that. If the cops can't do their job, they just send in the National Guard. That's just the way it's been forever, which also needs a little help. But the biggest point I'm making, especially with this video, is it's the money. It is the fucking money. Again and again and again and again. You've got to say that. Some way, somehow, in everything you do, and I'm talking to people like Kyle Kalinske and Humanist Report, Mike Figueroa, Zoom Politicon, Jamal, Convo Couch, Jimmy Dore, Richie from Boston, who I just started watching, who agrees. This is a bipartisan, they're all in it together to this giant fucking scam to make a bunch of fucking money. And he agrees. And he's mostly like right-wingish. And there's a lot of people on the right that are saying, wait a second. Trump's now wearing a mask. He's pushing the vaccine. Right? I mean, during the national conventions, Biden says, pandemic 3 times. He mentions pandemic. These are, they're called, there's a fucking marketing term for it. It's the narrative, right? It's when you're trying to convey a message or you're trying to plug and brand something so that if you say it enough, people remember it, right? It's all a part of marketing. So Trump says it like 3 times, but he says vaccine twice. And he's been talking about the logistical capabilities of the National Guard or the Army, etc., to push out a forced vaccine. I'm not fucking okay with this. Right? And he really hasn't done much to expose this, which I know a lot of people on the right are fucking trying their hardest. Tons of Christians everywhere. I mean, they're just pissed off. I get it. But leave your religion out of it. Because it isn't about an ideological statue or somebody, a man in the sky in a throne, that big white guy in the sky. No, it's not. It's about the oppression that we're going through. It's about the subjugation we're going through. It's about the tyranny and the fascism and the mass control. And everybody's just complacent, except for a lot of people out there. And I know you want to bring religion into this, but it has nothing to do with fucking religion. It has to do with you being able to do what you want freely when you want to, like you did in the 70s and the 80s. I was there. Maybe too much freedom, honestly. But it's very simple. It's the fucking money. It's the money that drives these politicians, these judiciaries, to make judgment on Citizens United because corporations are fucking people? No, they're not. They're not. I mean, stand your ground. I mean, in Kenosha, Wisconsin, that 17-year-old kid, Kyle, sadly, you can't operate a semi-automatic weapon under the age of 18. You just can't. But here's the thing. They have stand your ground in that. They have stand your ground. Okay? Stand your ground means that if you have an altercation with somebody, you can shoot and kill somebody. If you feel intimidated, pressured, abused, harassed, you can just fucking shoot. Right? I mean, no, we don't need to go backwards, people. I just, look, I want you guys to be able to have your weapons, right? I used to hunt. I used to fucking Alaska. I hunted in California. I've hunted in Texas. I want to go hunt it out here. Right? But the thing is, and I want you to keep your guns to protect your families and go hunting and do the sports things that you do, and that's great. And I don't want to strip you of those things, right? And I just want to make sure that out here you can, and in certain states you can carry guns. But here's the thing. I know people that carry guns, right? I don't have a fucking problem with it. I really don't. But if you really believe that you need to have a gun to walk around, then there's something wrong with your society. There is something wrong with your village. You're scared. You're scared. You know, I'm 6'1", 6'2", too fat, but I'm a big guy. I'm not really scared. I mean, I'm more scared just driving a car. That's fucking scary. That's super scary, right? Out here, not that much in West Virginia, but in California, which I was just there about 2.5, 3 weeks ago, and I've been back like 5 times, I think, since I've been out here for almost 2 years. I'm telling you, that's scary. Driving in California is fucking scary. I'm in the number 2 lane. Everybody else is driving at fucking 90 miles an hour. It's just 85, 90. If you're in the carpool lane, or if you're on the 4 or 5, the 5, and you're not moving, somebody's going to ride your ass. Get out of the fucking way. Period. And it's crazy, because it's insane. So besides that, besides the differences we have, and some people have differences, right? I get it, right? It is the money that manipulates these supposed public servants to do the things that they're doing to us right now. To do everything that they're doing to us right now. If you believe that wearing a mask for the next 3, 4, 5 months to a year, or until the warp speed miracle vaccination comes, is the new norm, you've become completely malleable and complacent in a very bad way. And it's the training, it's I'm telling you, they're called impressions. That's what I was getting to. These words, they're impressions. So you carry those words. Some of them have more power than other words, right? They prime you up, they set you up, they set the pins up, and then they control you. Right now, I'm seeing tons of distractions. Tons of distractions everywhere to keep you from seeing what's right in front of you. It's not normal to go into a fucking store or anywhere in Southern California or Texas or New York and see a bunch of freaking people with masks on. And then some people yelling at them for not wearing a fucking mask. This is not, you can't accept this. The money is motivating these people to do these things. Bill Gates is a fucking criminal, period. If you argue with that fact, then come on my show. I'll get out all my videos, I'll get all my information, everything. And I've got a lot. So be prepared. Because you're going to be, enlightened. You're going to be woke. And you may just run off of the stage and say, fuck, and then at some point I'm hoping that you realize that there are people out there that have heinous and very sick agendas. Their mission isn't the same mission that your mission is. Your mission is to get up, go to work, get home from work, hang out with your family, hang out with your friends, your family, your neighbors, or whatever. Enjoy the rest of your day. Watch a movie, have a few beers, whatever the case may be. Enjoy your dinner, blah, 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 blah. And that's it. That's not their agenda. Their agenda is much more. There's a fucking actual... God, let me put it to you this way. They think differently. Have you ever been to Beverly Hills? Have you? I have. Have you seen the way these people think? how they conduct themselves, what they do in in their basements and in their backyards. I'm telling you, it's fucking nuts. I've been to Bel Air parties. Bel Air, you know where Will Smith came from, I guess. Right, not originally from Bel Air, but the Prince of Bel Air. I've been to parties in Beverly Hills a while back, a long time, a while ago, and I've seen some pretty crazy shit. Masochistic, BDSM. You know, I wasn't really in that place. I'm just like, dude, this is fucking weird. Let's go get some sushi, right? And I just got to tell you, they're the ultimate rich, elite, the corporate elite rich that are millionaires, 10 times over millionaires and billionaires. Their minds, most of them, I'm not saying all, but most of them, are in a totally different place than you and I. You know, people that are just trying to put food on the table and pay our bills, get gas to go pick up the kids from school, get to work, you know, hopefully go on a vacation every once in a while, see family and friends, go to the beach, you know, stuff like that. Their minds are in a totally different place. Bill Gates is a fucking psycho. He's a fucking psycho. I strongly urge everybody that's watching me, watch theplandemicseries.com and watch Plandemic number 2. Number 1 is good, but what really hits home is number 2. Oh, man. I mean, if you have the guts, Jimmy Dore, if you have the balls, Kyle Kalinske, if you have the huevos, Mike Figueroa, right? You guys will watch that and pay attention. It's very compelling information, extremely compelling information, and it needs to be viewed by everybody. All those people that know that there were no weapons of mass destruction. Everybody that knows that 9/11 was fucking bullshit. Everybody that knows that Kennedy assassination. I mean, just Vietnam War, Grenada. I mean, just so many different things that are out there. I mean, I can go list on and on and on that have turned out to be criminalistic by our own public, quote unquote, servants. And you trust them with the information they're giving to you regarding COVID-19? Are you really doing that? Really? Okay. In that video that guy did, it's great. I mean, you've got to look at it. But that's happening everywhere. That's happening everywhere. The biggest thing that you need to take away from my short little video tonight is it's very, very important that you don't just, I mean, I hear it all the time, moron, idiot, what the fuck, you crazy, stupid motherfucker. I mean, I've heard everything on Facebook, I've heard it on Twitter, I've heard it on fucking Reddit, I've heard it, even on my show, people come on. I've heard the insults. I've heard it all. But have them look at my information. I just send them the information. I say, well, just see for yourself. Right? And they refuse. They refuse. They don't have the courage, the will. It's almost like they're cognitively dissonant on purpose, which that's what it is. It's the will to not want to know. But I want to know. That's why I question everything. And I'm telling you guys, question authority. It's our job. As the U.S. voting republic, we should be questioning our job. So that's been happening around the world. And before I go, I'm going to show you a couple of quick, I'm just going to show you some marches and some protests that are happening out there in regards to COVID. And the mainstream media is not covering it. They're not. They're so far up fucking Bill Gates' ass, it's just disgusting. Let me see, let's go right here. So this one, right? This one right here, London, giant protest. Oh, darn it. I hate when I do that. I don't know if you can see it, but let's see, I'll just click on it real quick. Yeah, so these are just a few people, right? Just a few people out here, you know, basically, they are extremely pissed. And there's more. Massive march in London. There's more and more. I mean, they're everywhere, right? There's been one in Germany, and many different nations out there that are questioning authority, questioning the source, doing the things that you should do as a citizen, as a human being. Don't take. I mean, look, I'm going to say it. Don't take my word for it, but just check it out yourself, right? You'll have all the information that you need, or the YouTubes, in my notes, right? I'll just quickly go over the people that I need you guys to just go check out. For sure, you should check out the Corbett Report, not the late night guy. Corbett Report. The Last American Vagabond. The Conscious Resistance. Rich Dad. The Rich Dad channel. That's Kawasaki, I think his name is. He does. He wrote the Rich Dad Poor Dad book. Great, smart, brilliant. Really graceful. Grace. He does this show. Ben Schwann, of course, has done some great stuff. Richie from Boston, right? That's the guy I talked about earlier. The Children's Health Defense.org you should go look at. Plandemicseries.com, watch number 2, right? And of course, come to my channel in case you want to just watch somebody battling. But it's real simple, people. Get off your ass and do some research. Then get really off your ass and go strike. Right? Go strike. Right now. Get out there with a sign. The first thing you guys should be saying, the first and foremost thing, like a broken record, every day, all day week, and twice on fucking Sundays, money out of politics, or this craziness will continue. These psychotic, narcissistic, sociopathic, 1% corporate elitists and their puppets are supposed public servants, the legislators, the judiciaries, and the executives on both sides of the fucking aisle, Republicans and Democrats, will continue to suck the tit of these fucking psychopaths. And they've become pretty fucked up themselves. Money can do great things for people, and a lot of people, but it can also turn people into some very heinous and sickly creatures, which I've seen up close, and it's bad. So let's just say this. Let's just say this before I get off. It's your duty. It's your duty to yourself, to your family, to your village, to your planet, to check a little harder. Put a little more effort in there. Don't just say, "Oh, Rachel Maddow's right." Oh, you know what? Sean Hannity, he knows exactly what the fuck he's talking about. Right? Right? Even Jimmy Dore, question him too. Question Kyle, question me. Look up the information for yourself. That's what I'm asking you to do. But most of all, everybody should be out on the street right fucking now, which I'm going out there before the 9th. I'm going to go to D.C. I think I'm going to be in a hula skirt. I'm going to wear coconut bra. I don't know. Because I told some people I would. And I am going to be picketing. And the sign that I'm going to have, it's going to say, money out of politics. And then in the bottom corner, it's going to say, non-party voters. Other side's going to say, partycrashers.us. Right? Check out our site. It's new. I'm still working on it. I don't have like a... I'm just using the services they have. But if you read it, you can understand what's going on. Money out of politics, right? For sure. That has to happen. That should be the number one thing we should be fucking protesting. All of the 99% needs to get out there and get money out of politics. Or this shit's going to continue. The fascism is going to get worse. You need to make sure your politicians are held accountable to what you want. To what you need and what you want. Not what some nutball that made fucking $80 billion in 6 months wants. Like he fucking needs that. Ugh. Anyway. Anyway. Thank you very much for coming. Mahalo nui loha. Take care, everybody. And do your own due diligence. Go out there.